episode, man. Snapbacks and fitted caps. This is episode 13. I got my crew with me, man. Y'all know who it is. The usual suspects. We missing Angry Mike, but you know, we still in here. What's that hat you got on there, Keith? What is that? It look like the Christmas. The
Yeah,
leg.
just got this bitch today. I wasn't expecting for 2 days. The little leg man, little Ralphie's
Hey,
pops,
that shit was hard.
like shit.
Fragile, fragile. This is
Italian.
what's up with the KP? Looking serious today, bro. You got a
Man,
dissertation. So, my TED talk this evening, I like to talk about my nigga got the TED
toxic
talk pose.
women. Uh, nah, I'm just a little under the weather. I
I
didn't
feel you,
want y'all to
bro.
do it with three, so I decided to show my face.
We're glad you pushing through it, man. I'm a little bit sick too. I got ear infection type thing, but we pushing through, man. We pushing through. What kind of hat you got over there?
Oh, Super Bowl hat, baby. Super Bowl 30.
Ooh, that shit was like
Oh,
when Bill Clinton was president. When
yeah, this is
VHS.
this is why it's
Uh,
a snapback. It was when they didn't have fitted caps.
a real true throwback. What up with it, Dre?
Yeah. What
What's good, man? Chilling, man, out here in Internet, California. You know how it goes.
kind of hat you got on, brother?
That's the Hudson Valley Renegades minor league team.
That shit hard, man.
Appreciate it.
Let me see. What's the character? What is it? Is it like
It's
a?
a it's a donut holding an apple
Oh, okay.
and some apple cider.
That's hard.
I
Where
just
you
seen
find
it,
that
thought it
at?
was hard.
Is that
I have
newer?
no idea.
Is that new?
Uh, yeah, I have no idea where I found this. It was some sports store. It had a bunch of minor league hats. So I was like, oh, let me cop them.
Mm, that's a
Bro,
nice
you've
look,
been
man.
looking like you've been putting some essential oils in that beard of yours, brother.
Nah, nah, man, I ain't left
It
the
look
house in
nice.
like 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
But, and I ain't had no you be taking on your lanyard and all that stuff, putting on the mask and shit at work. I ain't gotta do none of
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Oh,
So your
okay.
beard flourishing. It's out here flourishing.
Yeah, I ain't been to
I got
work
a
in like a
little.
month.
You know,
That shit hard.
niggas don't wear hockey hats. You know what I'm saying? So I had to bring a hockey hat to the table.
That shit clean.
Okay. Yeah, it is.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
That
Chicago
Is it
Blackhawk.
fitted?
Mm-mm. It's a snapback, new
Oh,
era.
it's a snapback too?
Mm-hmm.
That shit
Yep.
nice, man.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Man,
I go
how
hat
y'all boy
shopping.
how
That
y'all
boy
boys
brings out
been,
the big
man?
guns.
Now this is actually old. I got this when I was in Chicago.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Okay.
It's a throwback for me too. How y'all boys been, man? What's good?
I've been straight, man. Kids started back school today. Had a little house a little
Mm,
quiet for a little while.
Peace and quiet in the
that's
house, huh?
love right there, huh? That's
Uh,
love right there, boy. Can't beat that.
Man, it seems
How
like
you
kids going back to school earlier and earlier every year, bro. Like
I love it.
Summer short.
summer be
no.
short as hell. I feel like when I was in school, my summers was long as hell. We didn't go back to like the last week of August, like that first week of September. But now it seems like kids,
Yeah.
especially in Georgia, these kids going to school the first week of August. They got their ass in school.
It used to be a full 3 months, honestly. I mean, I know I was in school over 20 years ago, but still, it was a full 3 months summer.
That nigga was in school when they didn't have periods. That nigga teacher
One
taught all
class
the
all
lessons,
day.
bro.
One class all day. Oh
That
man.
nigga went to school when they was giving out ass whoopings.
Uh,
Hey,
Our
they
school
was
still,
giving our ass whooping when I was in elementary. I remember a motherfucker trying to paddle me and shit, man, because I was acting up.
our principal did that.
Wow.
Had a big ass paddle with the holes in it.
For real?
Yeah, like in elementary, he did. I mean, by the time I was middle school, that was the 90s. They had to rule that shit out.
so y'all got whooped then.
I never did, but I mean, I know some folks did.
Motherfucker tried to whoop me. My mom was like, "Nope, we ain't doing that." She
Mm.
cut that shit off real quick.
She didn't show up
What-
with a house robe on and some house slippers.
Ready to put in work.
That's when you know it's real.
I'm the only one that can whoop this booty over here, bro. Y'all ain't touching this little boy. Not mu- not
Bruh,
not.
speaking of which, what is like one of the most embarrassing like mama moments y'all done had at school, bro. Like them shits
School?
used to be treacherous, man. Like nah, just like I remember just having to call your mom. You know when you get when your mom where the teacher would call your moms over the phone, and then you was just acting an ass. You was vibrant. You had life. You know you was the class clown. Then she was like, "Oh, your mom want to talk to you." Then you go to that corner. You be like, "Yeah, mom," and she going off on the other line, but you got to keep your cool because the homies in the class. So you like, all right. Okay, bye. She really told you when you get home, she getting in that ass, but
Yep.
you get back to your seat like, nigga, she wasn't even tripping. Know what she was,
Boy, that
Yeah.
anticipation had you nervous. You be over there quiet as hell. They're like, "Why you
nigga.
quiet for the rest of the day?" Because you thinking about that ass whooping.
Thinking about that,
nigga,
yeah, fact.
nigga, that bus ride home, boy, when you get closer and closer to that crib.
Man,
Woo-wee.
man,
Yes, sir.
My shit,
That shit was wild.
my shit was different because I got home about 2 hours before my mom got off work. So
me too.
I had to sit and wait on them shits at the house for about 2 hours.
Ooh, I know you didn't get in the shower. Yeah, you can't get in that shower. You don't want to get caught slipping in that
Nigga, I used to
shower.
fake like I was asleep so she wouldn't wake me up. That
So
was
she
my
wouldn't
trick.
wait.
Like if I knew I was gonna get a whooping, I go
Ever.
home, I do everything I need to do, like clean the house, and then I would fake
Nigga
sleep.
wouldn't even eat. My mom would have woke that ass up, boy.
Oh no, sometimes I would get my
You
ass
can't
whooped,
hit.
but
You
most
can't.
of the times I might be able to, you know what I'm saying, depending on how the ride home from work was, she might forget about it. But most of the time, yeah, she gonna whoop my ass.
So what happened that had y'all getting whooped at school?
Nigga, I
Man,
was a
one
class
time
clown, bro.
I was bad, bro. I was one of them kids that I used to get my work done, and then once I'm done with my work, ain't nobody else gonna be able to do their work because I'm wilding out. So
But
one time I went into the bathroom, and it's like second grade. I remember this shit. We was watching a movie, and I'm in the bathroom just screaming like la 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 la. Man, my teacher came in there, pulled my ass out there, called my mom. My mom was like, "Boy, when you get home, I'm gonna beat your ass up." Oh man, I was so shook.
Man,
That's childish
I
as
was
shit, nigga.
shook.
that's childish.
I don't know why I was in the bathroom screaming, bro. Like I had no reason to be in that motherfucker screaming, but I was just in that bitch screaming like la 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 la. Yeah, she whipped my ass
Boy,
that day, boy.
in their office wrestling.
Nigga. Nigga, one time I got kicked out of summer school, knowing I needed that class, bro. I already fucked up that particular subject, so I was supposed to go to summer school to make that shit up. I got kicked out of summer school for clowning around. Nigga, my ass was waking up every day, like I still had that class, bro. Like, nigga, faithfully, nigga. And then we lived in the apartments. I think what ended up happening was I think I came out the apartments because one of my homeboy stayed downstairs. I think I was walking out. We thought the coast was clear. We was gonna be able to do our thing. My mom walked out, seen my ass there, like, "What you do? You supposed to have class?" I was like, "Uh, uh." We got out early, boy. She found out my ass wasn't going to school. It was a wrap,
Man,
bro. I used to do stupid shit, man. Y'all want to hear a crazy story?
yeah.
This
Yeah.
will
What's
be
up?
freestyling. So what's old girl name that got kidnapped? That faked
Ah,
kidnapping?
Charles, what's the name?
The one that lied
Carly,
about getting kidnapped?
Carly or
Carly.
whatever. Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know
yeah.
I had one of them moments.
Oh, you lied about getting
I
kidnapped?
lied
And
about kidnapping. Yeah, nigga, let me nigga.
just so everybody know,
Nigga.
Kim is tuned in and watching.
So
I need to sound
so
out
what
in real
happened
time.
was for real. This is real life. If she message you, she gonna attest to it. So my school was maybe like a 20-minute, 15-20 minute drive. But like if you caught a school bus because you had to catch that transfer and everything, that shit was like a cool little hour 20. So one day after school, this little white girl wanted to mess with me, whatever. Her mom was super cool with it, man. And then we was all kicking it, and all the homies is there. So I can't be the first one to leave. So I'm staying. All the homies staying, I'm staying. But they all live relatively close to it. They get late. I think it's like 10, 11 o'clock, bro. And like I'm looking at the bus schedule, I'm like, bro, if I don't leave right now, I'm gonna miss that last bus. But
Mm.
her mom was super cool with it. Her mom
It's
ended
10
up
at
going to
night.
sleep. Yeah, on a school night, bro. On a school night. So,
Pushing.
so yeah. So her mom go to sleep. I'm like, all right, let me get it in real quick, and hopefully I can make that bus. Nigga got it in. Did not make that bus. So my nigga, I had to walk from her house all the way home. That bitch is like easily maybe a 2 hour walk. Like, so nigga,
Mm.
I'm walking, I'm just beating feet, bruh. And I'm like, shit, bruh, my mom is gonna lose it, man. This is no cell phones, like cell
I was
phones
just about to
wasn't
ask,
even
was it
really a
cell
thing
phones
and
or
shit.
pagers or
Nah,
anything back then?
nah. So I had nothing but time to cook up a story. So I'm like, all right, bet. I said, all right,
That boy
I'm
feet
gonna
were
say I
hurting.
got kidnapped. Yeah, I said I'm gonna say I got kidnapped, right?
You walked through the
So
door
my ass,
crying.
That was the only story you.
nigga, nigga, I did more than just crying, nigga. I took one of my shoes, I put them in the bush just
Bruh.
before we hit the hit the corner, nigga. I ripped my shirt, ripped my shirt up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I
Oh
came in the
man.
hood. My mom was waiting on her ass. Where you been? I got kidnapped. She was like, you got kidnapped? I was like,
Boy,
yeah, I got kidnapped. So
that's
I,
wild.
I
Your
go to
mama said
school
your
in
ass
Long
is
Beach.
grass.
Yeah. No, my mom
She
always
just said
felt
that.
like,
She
I
just said it in
wasn't
the
gonna
chat.
lie to her. Huh?
She just said it in the chat.
so so she believed me, man. I don't even know why she first. She believed me. So so my mom, so we in Long Beach, and ain't no Bloods in Long Beach. So I'm gonna say Bloods kidnapped me. I said Bloods kidnapped me, right? And
Right.
I said they was driving around with me. They was driving around with me, and then they just dropped me off. So my story was these niggas just picked me up, kidnapped me, and just driving around. Was just
Bruh.
driving around town with me, and decided, all right, we don't want
They had you
nothing with
pulling
this little
Grand
nigga.
Theft Auto
Yeah,
missions and shit.
yeah,
That's wild.
yeah. so, so my mom, so my mom called my dad. I'm hoping this was gonna stay in house because I'm thinking I
Oh
could get it
man.
off. If it stay in house, like
Yeah.
I could get this off. My mom decided to call my dad because my dad is with them shits. So she called my dad. This nigga gonna say, Kim, this nigga's lying. This nigga's lying, Kim. And
Bruh.
she put the nigga on the phone, and I'm nervous. Like my dad's 6'7", 6'6", 6'7", big. This nigga's yoked up at the time too. So when he get on the phone, niggas act up when pops on the phone. So he like, what happened? I'm like, I got kidnapped. He said, nigga, you lie again, I'm gonna come up there. But it's late at night, nigga, and he lived like 45 minutes to an hour away. So I'm like, this nigga ain't got time to come over here. I'm like, I got kidnapped. He said, nigga, you say it one more time, I'm gonna come up there. I said, I'm telling you the truth, I got kidnapped.
He
Sure
was not
as
trying to
shit,
hear that.
that motherfucker came. That nigga took me to the garage and beat the truth out of me.
Damn.
Nigga, I went as far as doing a police report. My mom had the police come. Nigga, I told the police
Bruh.
everything,
You really
man.
pulled a
So
Carly.
yeah, my mom,
Lieutenant St.
You
my,
really
Patrick.
pulled a Carly.
my
This nigga
mom's
had a
my mom's
police
had to
report.
take, bruh, for real, nigga. I think they did like a scare straight program for me or some shit like that.
That's crazy.
My mom, I think she got fined and maybe had to take some classes
Oh
for my
shit.
false police report. Yeah,
What?
man. Yeah,
Bruh. Your mama
That boy
said,
all
now
for
really
you
right
see,
down his
all for
your
some
line.
mama said,
vagina.
now you see how Carly's mom believed her. Yep, she right, mama. Mama's
Facts.
gonna always believe for the most part, bro.
Did he ever
Yeah.
get hold of your ass for that?
Huh?
Did she ever get a hold of your ass for that, even after everything was said and done?
Nah, my dad took care of everything, bro. My dad, I'm telling you, that motherfucker beat the truth out of me, man. After a couple punches, I was like, all right. I was at a girl house. I don't even, looking back, I don't even know why I tripped because my pops was always like, if it was females, like if I said I was messing with a female, like he wouldn't trip. He might be like on the phone with my mom, be like, because it was a few times that he, like my mom would call about some shit that I do, and then he was like, "Oh, just act like I yelled at you." But how was it? Da-da-da-da-da. You know, he just talked to me like the homie, and then I just be like, "Oh yeah, my dad said, you know, he was pissed off, and I'll see him when I see him." So, but yeah, I lied, nigga. I lied.
Bro, I
But
had an
that was
incident
my
like that,
confession,
bro.
nigga.
I had an incident
Yeah.
like that. I was in high school, 10th grade, and this girl I like, she wanted to go to Lenox Mall. So after school, we got on the MARTA, which is like our bus system, and we took the bus to the train, and the train took us to downtown, and we went to Lenox. So we up in
Mhm.
Lenox, and you know Lenox closed at like 9. So then we had to take the train back home. So I didn't get home till like 10:30, 11. So I'm
Hmm.
coming to the house. I didn't got dropped off by a taxi. I get to the house. I'm I walk up I walk up in the house. Actually, I'm going through the garage. And as soon as I open up the garage, my mom was standing in that motherfucker with the broom like a ninja. Like, oh, you think you grown, nigga? And she just went to work on me, bruh. She went to work on me with the broom. Like she went crazy with the
Man,
broom.
Bruh.
I'll never forget
Females
that.
used to have you just doing stupid shit in high school, bruh. Like,
Bro, I was
niggas
wide
just putting
open.
you in the worst positions, bruh.
I ain't never had
I
The
didn't
no
worst
even get
position.
none. I didn't
situation
even
like
get
that.
none, but I just was wide open too. Like I had a super crush on her.
I had the
Oh,
advantage. I'm not gonna. It sound bad saying advantage, but being that it was only my mom or either only my grandmother, I got away with a lot of shit. Like that, my mom. I didn't tell my mom a lot of shit I did, even in her household, till I was grown. And my younger
yeah.
sister, see, he the fucked up one, not me. I was like, cause she was so busy. My sister was a 2 year old baby when I was like 12. So when I lived in Houston, man, I used to disappear. I used to stay with a friend's house for a weekend. She only told me Friday night, but I would somehow convince her that she said Saturday, Sunday too, and I'd be over there. I'd be gone on her. We were stealing shit, and she ain't never know we was doing none of that because I never got caught. So I would,
Mhm.
and my grandmother. I mean, My grandmother was like in the 70s. I used to push her car out the driveway in neutral when I was like 15 into
I
the
did
street.
that shit too.
Turn the lights on when I got down the street. Come hours later, she'd still be sitting there in that same chair she was in 3 hours ago, sleep. I check under her nose and then go in my room.
You just checking to make sure she was alive?
Niggas a
No,
criminal.
my grandmother
For
hard.
real.
No,
This
like
nigga checking under her nose.
she was sitting in the same exact position when I left 4 hours ago. So I used to always be like, let me make sure. All right, let me go on to my room now.
Man, my grandma had like she had like bat hearing. She would know. She would hear you creaking up them stairs, and she you think she deep sleep. She'd be like, Mitchell.
My,
I'd be quiet. I'd be like, yeah, grandma. She
Yeah.
had some supersonic ears, bro.
Nah, like once and so after I think after that incident, like I think I want to say my junior and senior year, I ended up moving with my grandma. And boy, that shit was lovely, man. Grandma was out and about. My grandma still like that. My grandma be out and about. So, and then my grandfather was, he was a singer, a gospel singer, and so like he was well known around Long Beach and stuff like that. So them old school gospel singers. They always at somebody's church Monday through
Yeah,
Sunday
at a
singing and
function.
stuff. So
Boy.
me and a homie used to have my grandma's house was like the whorehouse. Like that shit used to be jumping, boy. And then they both snored really loud, boy. They had sleep apnea and shit. So we used to just take the car, push it down to the side of the road because my granddad's car was real raggedy. So
yeah,
that shit, you could hear it. You couldn't start that bitch like nowhere. You got to start that bitch five houses down. So we push that shit down and then we crank that thing up and just go get the rolling. But yeah, man, high school used to be popping.
Yeah.
Wow, but you live with grandma, you can get a lot of fuck shit off when you live with grandma.
I ain't have none of them problems. I was a kid. I had in high school. I had 2 cars and an apartment to myself, and I was going to college and high school at the same time.
No
So,
wonder this nigga move.
Yeah,
my
nigga. This nigga
yeah,
grown.
no, my uncle got locked up when I was in high school, and then right when he got locked up, I mean, I already knew how to pay all the bills and everything. All the money was coming in was subsidized or coming from child support or something like that. So, as soon as the money came in, I just went and paid the bills. And after that, it was love.
Man, I would have
You
had
was paying
kids if
bills
I had
too?
all that freedom. And
Why
I
you
had
think
all that freedom. I
why
would
you
have
think
had
I
a
had
lot
my
of
son in
kids.
high school? I had all that
Yeah,
freedom.
oh, okay. Yeah, that nigga was a teen dad.
Man,
You gave up your football too?
nah, I had no football to give up. I gave it up a long time ago. I was like, nah, I ain't trying to do all that. I'm gonna get a job.
That's wild. That's crazy, man.
Y'all boys was
I
independent,
did.
boy.
I did. I got more trouble in like elementary school and
Yeah.
middle school. I mean, I tried to. My teacher, her name was Miss Apis. She kicked me out for the class for some reason. I can't remember why, but her husband was my sister's teacher at MLK Middle School. So me and my
Hmm.
homeboy Josh walked over there.
Oh, I
I
know
tried to
that
set
was
his
a
class.
ghetto school.
I tried to set his class on fire. Got caught.
This nigga
Try to set
thought,
the class on
bruh.
fire.
I did. Tried to set
What
his
was you
class
trying to
on
set the
fire.
class on fire for, man?
Yeah, I was hot,
He
man.
was
I was
mad.
a kid. I was stupid.
He was mad because he got kicked out. So this nigga gonna try to catch the whole school on
No, it
fire.
was a different school. I walked to her husband's school. It was and I set the trash can on fire and threw it in the room. Tried to run. Got caught.
Oh, this boy is wild. This nigga,
Wow.
this nigga tried to, like a Watts riot.
You
That
got,
nigga
hey,
took
you,
the
you gotta
trash,
think this is this is this
a
is
king size Mazel tov.
hey this
Fuck,
this
all
this is
kinds.
out in San Bernardino, so this is all normal. This is just a normal day in San Bernardino. Man, the security guard knew my
uh,
dad though. He was like, "Oh, I know you, AGP son." I was like, "Oh." After that, it
that's
was a wrap,
crazy.
man.
That is wild, man.
But yeah, high school was definitely easy going. I was only there like 2 hours a day anyway.
Yeah.
So your most toxic time in life, like when you was just wilding, was elementary.
No, I was definitely middle school. I was wild in
Like your
elementary.
wildest, like
I went
I'm not
I
even
went I
talking
went
about
I
getting
went
in
crazy
trouble.
in
I'm
middle
talking
school.
about just doing unnecessary wild shit. Not even in the
Oh,
army.
no, that would definitely be in the army. Yeah, young
Oh,
time in the
okay,
army. Yeah, I was doing
okay.
I didn't
that
think.
stuff. That stuff's not even finna make it the airwaves. What I was doing when I was younger in the army.
Okay.
Like I said, I could talk about setting somebody's classroom on fire. The other stuff, yeah, I ain't
Can't
even
talk
gonna go
about
down
that.
that
That's off
road.
the record, huh?
Yeah, that's concealed records right there, boy.
Man,
I think my wildest time
Yeah.
was probably college. I think that's when I was out. I was on one in college, but
Yeah.
yeah, I was doing the most.
I never got to
Yeah, I
experience that
always wish
college
I would.
experience.
Yeah, I wish I did too. I wish I went to HBCU because I know I would have been wilding the fuck
Man,
out, man.
I'm
I
glad I
know I
didn't
would
go to
have been acting a
HBCU.
fool.
I'd have dropped out probably sooner if I'd went to HBCU. Here they got nah. I think I would have probably graduated going to HBCU because I'd have had more support. Like
Yeah,
being at a PWI when you like the only black person in the class, that shit was not cool. I didn't like that. Like because I didn't really want to go to school. I really wanted to go to like a 2 year program or something like DeVry or you know what I'm saying, like a trade school to where I could just get done and get out. So like I was supposed to go to DeVry, but I didn't end up going to DeVry. I ended up going to University of Northern Iowa.
Hmm.
Wrong decision.
how was that
No,
though? Because
Northern
I
Iowa
know
don't even
it's
sound
like,
fun.
but I'm just saying, like being the token nigga is it has its perks. It does have its perks because
They do, they do.
when I was in
It do, but you
Oregon,
can't
man,
miss
that shit was
class. Like
They
you
know
can't miss
not.
man.
class.
I was
Like you
they
the only
treated me
nigga in
like
class.
Drake out there.
Go
It
sit
was
back.
cool far as like the women in social life, but like far as like
Yeah.
class and shit, like that shit wasn't it. Like You know what I'm saying? Professors and shit really. And then like the major that I picked was a new major. Like if I went to the school that I went to was a teaching school. So if I wanted to be a teacher, it would have been the perfect avenue for me. But what I was trying to go to school for was like e-media, broadcasting, communications. So it just wasn't a good school because I would keep getting put on waiting lists to be able to take these prerequisites. And I just got tired of that shit. I'm like, man, this ain't what I went to school for. I was just pretty much selling drugs and having sex at school.
Man,
I,
that
I
way
only
I
stayed
do.
in the
that
I only stayed in the
nigga
dorm
was
like one
Tyreek.
semester,
Was
pretty
that
much,
nigga Tyreek?
straight up. I had the hottest house in the on campus. Like I stayed right on campus by all the bars and shit. I only stayed in the dorm for one semester. I had a little African roommate. He was cool, but he ain't like me. I'm in that motherfucker smoking weed, fucking. He like, bruh, why you treat me like animal? That's what he told me. And nigga said, why you treat
Man,
me like animal? You come in that room, you smoking weed. I just want to graduate. I was like, hey man, that's
Oh,
what
you
college
should have
is
put that
about,
boy
ain't it?
on like Braylon, bruh. You
man.
tripping.
We still cool to this day though. That's my dog. But yeah, I was wilding, man. I had to get the hell out them dorms. I was doing too much.
That's how it was in Air Force dorms. That shit was wild. That shit was like college, really. That's why y'all looked at me
I
funny.
mean, because it is college.
In the Air Force, that
Yeah,
shit
right.
like
It is like
Boy
college.
wasn't even in the military. Boy went to preparatory school.
that's how that's what it was. Because people were doing the same thing. I didn't even realize half the people that I see on base was in the Air Force because they like niggas had gold teeth from one end to the other, and I'm like, okay, yeah, man, we finna go smoke for real. Ain't no more.
Wow.
That's
Mm.
crazy. Hey, so I got another question for y'all. Like, I seen this on a podcast. They was asking like if your girl's ex passed away, like how long y'all giving her time to grieve? Like, like, like what if she devastated? Like she,
She really
she
shouldn't be
in bed.
devastated. She should be over that shit.
Bruh.
She got a
Nah,
48 hour.
I
It depends on how
Nah.
serious the
48
relationship is.
hours.
Now I'm
That's too long for me.
you grieving for?
24.
Now I gotta wonder, you kinda live too hard.
I'm talking
Yeah.
about snot coming out. Like,
Oh nah. Nah, you know, yeah.
Oh,
Uh-uh.
what if she just
Man.
she was just grieving, but she just couldn't eat? Like she
And
like, I'm
she
just
tell
not
you
hungry
she tell
right now.
chill, I just lost the love of my life.
She on hunger strikes at the household. She having hunger strikes.
Y'all not. She can't grieve.
hell
Nah,
no.
you gotta do that silently, homie.
It depends on how long she was with dude.
Silent
I look
protest.
at it like that. How long was she with him? Like if she was with him for like five
I
years.
I give y'all a couple of situations. What about scenarios actually?
He was a
Let's say they share the kid together.
oh
Oh, that's different. Yeah, that's different. You share a kid with somebody, they get about a week. I give them a week.
A week?
seven.
Yeah, I give them a week.
You gotta
Like
get
how
two,
bad
three
could she
hours.
be? How bad is it? Like you okay if so in that week span could she be like distraught, like she calling off work?
Bitch, we still gotta pay
I
bills.
mean, yeah. I mean,
Like
I'm gonna
She
give.
got
I'm gonna
sick
give her
you gonna let
time.
this man influence our household? Well, hey, what's
She
going on
she got sick time.
That nigga
I'm gonna
leave
try
give
to
her.
put it in for bereavement.
that nigga
I'm gonna
leave
give her grace, man. You know what I mean. I'm gonna try to be understanding. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody grieve different. But like I said, she got about a week. Like,
Yeah, I think I mean for myself, I
'cause they got a kid together
don't
now.
know.
You know what I'm saying? That's different when you got a kid with somebody. You got a kid with this
Well, no,
person.
I
Y'all
mean,
shit.
I got two incidents, two little situations, and one I'll be sad. I'll probably be sad for like my son, you know. But she cool. I'll probably be sad, but I wouldn't be like devastated or nothing like that. I can't even say that because Candy's cool. Uh,
I said,
the other one,
No, you're gonna be rejoicing. Ding dong, the witch is dead.
the other one, man, we might
They
throw a
gonna be
little
so happy.
party or
They
something.
gonna have a
You know what I'm
kickback.
saying?
Man,
We might, yeah, we might have to, we might have
that's
to
gonna
go
be
pull up.
crazy.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, because I
hey,
think
your kid, be, Daddy, why are we having a party? Oh, because your mama dead.
nah,
Whoa,
uh,
whoa, hold
it
up.
sounds bad, but it go
Yo,
back to what Mitch was saying. Like, I think it's based off of the relationship that y'all have. If y'all have a non-toxic and y'all have like that type of environment where it was a village that raised your kid, then of course you're gonna feel something. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's you
yeah,
feeling it for your kid, um, or you feeling it for yourself because that's like they cool with your significant other now. Y'all, you know what I'm saying?
it's part of
As
your
opposed
village.
to somebody, yeah, as opposed to somebody that's you know making it hard for you and shit
The
like that.
ops.
You're not,
She the ops.
yeah, yeah. You're not gonna feel that. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna feel that 100% custody once it happens. You know what I'm saying? And child support relief. That's what you're gonna feel, and you're gonna be hyped about it. So I think that's what it depends on.
Definitely. It definitely depends on the relationship, how well y'all co-parent together, and you know what I'm saying, like how long they been together. Like if it's like a year or so, they shouldn't be grieving like that. You know what I'm saying? If it was just like a flash in the pan, they shouldn't be grieving.
Or what you
Uh,
thought was a flash in the pan.
I'm just saying, like, if you told me the relationship wasn't that serious and y'all wasn't even on that level, you shouldn't be grieving for more than 48 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should feel sad. I mean, because there's nothing wrong with having empathy, and but 48 hours, I'm looking at you like,
I'm
did you really
saying
tell
like
the truth?
she changed her Facebook picture to him.
Oh no.
Man,
Oh
see,
yeah, nah, that's
you
too much.
wildin'.
Y'all not cool with
Nah,
that?
Yeah, that's too
I was
Bro,
much.
already not
man.
cool with it. When you do that, hey,
That's too much.
I'm gonna go ahead and start
The
making
most a nigga can get
arrangements.
is a post, a post on Facebook. That's the most a
Nah,
nigga should get.
because some of the
what,
posts be crazy too. Nah, no,
Leave
what
that
about like
uh,
posts with pictures of them, like
leave
from
it to his
back
come
family.
in their
on, bro,
days?
stop, stop.
That's bad.
I mean,
What's
what's
bad
wrong with
about
that?
that?
You should be secure enough in your relationship that shit shouldn't affect you.
Yeah, Dre got some insecurity problems.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
You trying to laugh
Let me
too?
see. Your ex died and she hugged and kissed up with some dude on social media talking about R.I.P. to
Remember
my
these.
first love. Boo boo.
I'm
Nah,
not
I
saying
mean,
that
not
them
even kissed
kissing,
up,
but like just
just
pictures
pictures.
of them
Yeah,
too.
reminiscing.
I'm straight.
This nigga heartless, man.
I mean, she can do it.
Y'all gonna have a talk.
Get my affairs in order.
That's a damn
Oh, so
sad.
y'all good. You let me know over there? I appreciate
That's so sad, man.
it. Oh man.
So, do any of y'all have any exes that if they passed away that y'all would feel a certain way, like where y'all would have to grieve, like that would hurt you? Like y'all ain't got no exes that if they passed away, that you know what I'm saying, it would affect you.
No.
Mm, no, just Brooklyn's mom. Like I wouldn't say it would affect me, but I would feel something for my son, and we got a friendship and we got a relationship that you know is is she's been nothing but great how she handled the divorce. The divorce was no like we didn't have to go to court and fight over nothing, 50-50 custody. Like it was no kickback for anything that I wanted. And when it came to my kid, our kid together, like we we figured it out. And then I think that more so now, dealing with it with my daughter's mom, I have a better respect for her. You know what I'm saying? Because I see how it could have went. Like it's
Yeah,
hell with the other one. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy, man. So I would feel some type of way, but I wouldn't be like. I wouldn't be like not eating and shit like that, losing weight. But, like, uh, you know.
Yeah.
Only reason,
But other than that, no.
only reason why I say I ain't even not trying to sound cold is because once I didn't wasn't in a relationship with the females I was in, we were never in contact anymore.
I said, Keith,
So,
Keith only been in two relationships.
huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
he is allergic to
He only been in
relationships.
two relationships.
This was
The
like I
one in middle school, and then the one right in after the airport.
was
they ain't never been no real relationship.
That nigga an independent man.
A strong,
Phenomenal
independent man.
man. Phenomenal man. That's me.
two.
God,
This
crazy.
nigga,
Nah,
this
hey
nigga
Keith, I
fool.
can't hear you, man. I see your mouth moving. I can't
That
hear what you
nigga
said.
black man magic, boy. That nigga, he going.
Now,
Yeah,
Can't
we
hear
can
you.
hear you now.
Yeah, I can.
what it is.
But nah, I don't know. I guess I don't really think about it as a sad thing. So I mean, if they moved on, I wouldn't be necessarily be sad. It was just, but I mean, that's kind of with anybody. I'm just gonna be like, oh, I guess their time on this earth is done. I mean, everybody got to die. So
This nigga heartless.
that's not heartless.
Man,
What you mean? I mean,
Dre,
it happens to everybody. Like, what's
It
the
does, but I mean, like, you
so
don't
now I
grieve
feel
when
like
people die. Like,
we gotta change the question for Dre. Like, would you cry if anyone died, nigga? Like, or
I
you
don't
just
know,
gonna be
cause
like,
I
I mean,
really
it
I'm
was
gonna keep
their
it
time.
real. Like when my dad died, I think I cried uh like years later. I don't know. I mean, it just wasn't nothing. It was sad, but it was like, well, damn. Now what? I was really more mad than anything. When my dad died, I felt like I knew he was about to go, and I asked my people to take me to the hospital to see him, and they wouldn't. And then the next morning, I woke up. They was like, "Yeah, your dad dead." I was
was it
like,
from health complications?
there's a couple of different stories. The one I got that seems to be most consistent was that he got poisoned by his mistress, but they were also saying it could have just been cardiac arrest or
Hey,
pneumonia. I don't know. I was a kid, so
Yeah.
I know the most part I hear about is the poisoning, but I'll never
I
know.
ain't gonna lie. Like certain things be triggering me. Like so, like my cousin passed away like last year, and every time I see a motorcycle like around this time, it start making me think about him and shit because like he passed away around this time. And like I was just riding the other day and I seen a dude on a motorcycle. And I just thought about him and shit, and it kind of like triggered me. And then the same thing be happening like when my grandma like she passed away in July, and like I be like thinking about her a lot when that time come around like the time when they passed away, that shit start coming
Yeah.
around and start like bothering me. Like I be in a funky mood. I'm like, why am I in a funky mood? And I think about it like I'm still grieving a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm still processing. It was like my grandma was my favorite person, so when she
Yeah.
passed away,
Mhm.
it really affected me. You know what I'm saying? And then for her to not be here and not see my son and stuff like that, it really be bothering me. I'm like, damn, she didn't get to see my son. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just
same here.
Yeah. I don't know. I just
Can y'all hear me now?
yeah, we can
yeah,
hear
we
you.
hear you, bro.
All right. Yeah, okay, y'all. Got y'all phenomenal man shit off why I couldn't say fucking
The
Nah.
roads that grew
business.
from concrete.
Life ain't never been no crystal stairs here,
Nah, man. Nah. Nah.
man. That nigga don't need no woman. That nigga-
INDEPENDENT.
Well, you better get you a real relationship, Keith, man.
Yeah, Keith,
No, yeah, it
why have you steered clear of relationships? I mean, why is it only
That
the
nig's
two?
afraid of
Is that
commitment.
I feel like
the
we
middle
gonna have to
school
do a
joint
therapy
and then the
session with you.
air
it
For
wasn't
festival?
no
real.
see, it wasn't even see this nigga said middle school joint. I ain't gonna- that shit was that shit, I was shit, the last one was 2016, 17. And after that one, that was it for me. I was
Was
like,
that the one that was trying to
yeah,
have you fight niggas and shit? The one that
yeah,
was
yeah,
always.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So you've
And
been
it was,
traumatized.
and it ain't even
You
just
must,
that,
you must
man.
have got your ass whooped doing one of
No,
them.
Yeah, I
it,
mean,
no,
it's something we ain't
no,
hearing
man.
about that you ain't just never had another
No,
He got
relationship.
his ass
no,
He
whooped
got
by his
traumatized.
no,
Was she
none of
was
that.
He
she
had that
was
nigga
she
out there
abusive?
fighting Mike Tyson.
No, none
Was
of
she
that.
abusive?
Was she abusive? Verbally, yeah. I felt. I
Oh,
told
this
some.
nigga was
I,
verbally
to,
abused.
I
That
told her.
makes
I told somebody I'm a member of MAMDA, Men Against Male Domestic Abuse. Like
I never even heard
He
that.
said, "Ma'am, I ain't know. Yeah, that's a new
that,
acronym for me right there."
she used to talk to me like I was stupid,
oh, y'all niggas got me
and I ain't
serious
even have.
right now.
I don't even talk to females like that, so the bitch used to get mad at me because I wouldn't say shit back. I used to ignore it. But nah, it ain't just that. It's just because I know that shit take time. And no, I mean, I can honestly say when I used to look at niggas in their 40s and 50s, like, yeah, that's my girlfriend. I'm like, nigga, ain't y'all supposed to be
KP ain't
married?
fit.
This nigga needs to be in a Tyler Perry movie. This nigga
I'm good.
needs the
Hey,
Lord
what?
and Medea to help him with his relationship. This is crazy.
Hey,
Hey, was that Al Bundy
laugh.
with the no ma'am shit? Was
Yeah,
that Al
no man.
Bundy that had the no ma'am?
I can't
Nigga,
remember.
I am in
I used to have
tears,
a no
man.
ma'am shirt. I used to
That
have a
nigga
no
is
ma'am
part of.
shirt.
He's an honorary member of no ma'am.
But then I had to realize where I lived at, and I had to stop wearing that no ma'am shirt because I think about it,
Oh,
wearing
you
a no
did.
ma'am. Yeah, I didn't wear that shit no more because the wrong niggas would start approaching me. No ma'am, you already know what time. Yeah, nah, nigga. But nah, man, I ain't traumatized. Nothing. It's just I know, man. I don't have time for it. I don't have time for it.
That boy clicking. That nigga nervous.
That shit too much work.
This is therapy,
That shit.
bro.
That shit too much work, man.
So Keith, what are your what they call it? Like, what are your
Long-term
think?
relationship goals.
No, not even long term
none,
relationship
nigga.
goals. I was trying to think of like everybody got like a tolerance, right? So when you like talking to somebody, you dating somebody, like what's it called when you something that turns you off
His is breathe.
immediately or something?
His is breathe. He don't. He
Nah.
just
Okay, okay, okay.
he
I know.
I get.
clipping.
No. I'm gonna give you an example so you don't
Bitch,
think
did
it's
you
just
just
me.
breathe around
It's so you don't think it's this nigga,
Was
man.
that an exhale? Oh no, we can't do this shit.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you, it's little shit that I pay attention to. Like I used to when I, nigga, this was 5, 6 years ago when I had dreadlocks. I remember the first thing this bitch said was, cause I was like, yeah, the girl that do my hair, she do that shit good. Me and her cool, cause we cool. Like I wasn't fucking her none of that shit. She said, it look like I might have to start locking your hair, cause I don't think I'm fucking with that. And I was like, what? Like, huh? And she would say little shit like that all the time. And I'd
Mhm.
be like, okay, this bitch
Hmm.
been scarred, and this is something that ain't got nothing to do with me, and it's just how she is, and I'm not trying to fix it.
So what are your deal breakers now though? Like what are
Yeah,
things
deal
that you
breaker.
know what I'm saying like are red flags that you like you talk let's say you talking to somebody, y'all getting to know each other and whatever. What's something that you gonna be like, this a deal breaker or something that you ain't really into that could like make you cut somebody off? Like do you have a low tolerance? Do you have a high tolerance?
I have a high tolerance. I have a high tolerance.
Mm.
I have a high tolerance because I mean, outside of saying that it takes time and shit for a relationship, I'm pretty much patient. I just ain't got patience to do all that shit. But as far as like a motherfucker to talk about themselves a lot, because here we get that a lot. Like you ain't even never in the picture till you say something. Uh, I mean, here, man, shit. I mean, I'm sure it's the same everywhere, but here I pretty much got to watch for everything because you can get hit with it. Shit, the bitch could be a man here for all you know. Paul,
Wow.
hey, they out there. If that got to be Paul's pause, I ain't saying I never had that encounter.
That's why you take your time and get to know a person, man. You should know. I feel like you should know a man from a woman. Like it's not that hard to differentiate a woman and a man. Like even or transgender in a woman. Like them is two different energies to me. Like I don't know. I don't see how niggas is getting tricked.
Mitch, I
Like how
hear
are
you.
you getting tricked?
I hear you. But you know, doing what I do, picking up folks, ride sharing, picking up folks. Be clear. I done
You
seen.
a freaky
I done,
shooter?
no,
Freaky
he
shooter
said.
alert!
He said.
Freaky shooter alert!
Oh
Pick
man.
it up and drop it off. That's it. But I've seen some where you be like, nigga, I hear what you saying, and I hear what they be saying. And,
Man,
yeah,
ain't no way I would ever get tricked by a transgender. Is no way. No way. It's
I
not
think
Never
happening.
what's
say never.
interesting
I ain't
about
saying I'm
Keith
getting
is
tricked.
I'm
what's
What
saying you
about it?
said
interesting
a deal
about
breaker is like that ain't even we not even talking about that. We talking about talking to women. What are deal
Oh yeah, yeah,
breakers?
yeah. I heard what you. I heard. I know what you
So
meant.
first deal breaker is the women being a man. That's a deal breaker. Free.
We know that clearly. Talk about
No, nigga. No, nigga.
no,
That was.
it's interesting because it's crazy because we don't really hear too much, and from what he shared, like he hasn't really been in many relationships. I think that he is at that stage in his life where I think I would be at in my life, but I have experience with like dating and having girlfriends and stuff like that. Like if this one don't work out, then it'd be like I'm just enjoying life. I'm about to be hoeing for the rest of my life. But it's interesting that you got to that point after two attempts. Nigga, you said
That was it.
Say
That
ho
was
that's
for
it.
all
me.
that nigga needed. That nigga
yeah, that
never
That
nigga
was
wanted to
fighting
go
for
it.
that
his life.
heartbreak again. You're
That was
killing
it.
me.
Boundaries.
Damn,
Your mom
man.
said boundaries. You gotta set boundaries. That's definitely
and that was
true. Like
and that was
whatever you're
my
talking
fault.
to.
That was my fault because I was astounded by the butt. I ain't even gonna sit here in front. So I probably took a lot of
That
shit
shit
I
must
wasn't
have been
supposed to.
glorious. You still got
But
pictures of
yeah.
it? He said, I hope so.
I hope so.
I'm at that stage in my life, man. All I care about is peace, man. I don't want no drama. Like if you bringing drama and confusion into my
Mhm.
life, that's definitely a red flag. Like immediately.
Yeah.
Like I don't want no drama, man. Like you should be at the like especially like the age range, you know what I'm saying? Like when you start getting 35 and up, like you should have life kind of figured out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you shouldn't just be going through the same shit that you was going through in your 20s. Like it's it's
Mhm.
it's a timing where you kind of got to like things got to click. Like you just can't keep doing the same shit expecting the same results.
So you
Hey,
don't
hey,
think that you don't think that some women are still working through like trauma at whatever our age is, you know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Like,
definitely. Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then sometimes when working through trauma, that could bring times that it can seem dramatic at times because they're working through their trauma and stuff like that. And I know for myself, man, I think that I always had told people from jump, like if you dealing with me, man, you about to earn it, because I knew I was a handful, and I even now I still got a lot of ways that I'm working through. So I think that but there is a difference
But you
between
were honest about it, right? Like
drama.
you kind of let them know, like up front, like, hey, I
Yeah,
come with a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's
yeah,
okay. I think to me that's cool. Is that you're able to let them know up front, like, hey, I am dealing with some trauma, or I just, you know what I'm saying, like up front, just being up front. But when they don't tell you up front, and then you get to know them, and then as you get to know them, you start noticing things, and then they finally do tell you, and then you're like, okay, all right, I understand you dealing with this drama, but let's work through it. And then they're not able to work through it, and they're still like getting caught up on the same things and the same thing. I was in a relationship with a person, man, and they suffer from a lot of trauma. I don't want to, I'm not gonna put their business out there or nothing like that. But
tell us.
the trauma,
No, I'm just
the trauma just started affecting our relationship. Like it was just too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then like I don't think she had ever been with somebody that like really made her truly or really like loved her the right way. So like when I'm coming in here like loving her the right way, giving her the proper energy, it's weird to her. Like she wasn't used to it. So you know what I'm saying? Like used to combative energy and motherfuckers dragging her and doing all
The
kind of shit.
toxic
So
stuff, yeah.
yeah, so when I'm coming with clean, good energy, she like, what is this? Is she uncomfortable? You know what I'm saying? And she's still trying to process the trauma that she had. It just wasn't. It just, and then it got to the point where I got tired of it. Like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, how long am I gonna fight for this? And we keep bumping heads and keep, you know what I'm saying? Like, now you got me acting toxic. Now my energy levels is all fucked up. You know what I'm saying? My blood pressure all high because now you just stress me out, and I'm not even that type of person. So it just became a point where it's like this ain't working. Like far as long term situation, I couldn't see it working. Like everything else was cool. Like we had a good time. We usually, but her insecurities and her issues that she had previously, it just didn't allow us to grow. And it was just, sometimes that shit happens. We just had to be honest with each other. Like this ain't the time, and this ain't the season for each other.
Hey, hey, can I KP when you were saying all that about the lonely man and shit, let me read you something that when I read this is pretty much I feel like how it wraps me up. Jim Carrey said this shit. He was saying how solitude is a dangerous, it's very addictive. It becomes a habit after you realize how peaceful and calm it is. It's like you don't want to deal with people anymore because they drain your energy. And honestly, even like sometimes when it comes to friends, they might even be my closest. I'll have them over. Like, say if I help somebody out, he need to play stay or some shit like that for a day or two. Even though I know I can let him stay a week probably, but after like 2 days, 3 days, it ain't even like I'm trying to boot the nigga out. It's just like, all right, man, I'm used to being here by myself. Like, did you
Mm.
figure out what you was gonna do yet? If you
Mm.
need more time, I'll stretch it out for you. But that's why I mean, honestly, I ain't trying to sound sappy at all. The only my nieces and nephews, my son is when I feel the best over here because it's like adults. I don't be wanting to deal with them in their shit. I just don't.
Mm.
Yeah. No, that makes sense because I think I went through that when I got back from when I left active duty and I came back home. I felt like I wanted to be around my family. I was always like uh, the life of the party. Like my family always gets together, and so when I went to Washington, which I fucking hated Washington,
Such a
absolutely
beautiful place,
despised
huh?
it. I despised it, and so like I felt like I needed an energy shift because like I was probably doing the worst mentally that I've ever done, and I felt like coming back to California that it was going to provide like that hole was going to be filled because now I'm around family, I'm around friends that I grew up with, and da 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 da. Then you get here, and then you realize like shit, I've been gone for a minute. Everybody else's life done continued. They got a whole new life that doesn't include you per
Mm-hmm.
se. And when I got back, I felt like people wasn't really fucking with me on the level that I was used to them fucking with me, and I
Mm,
was pissed, and the I was it was driving me like more angrier. I was getting more and more angrier, and I started to get to the point where I had to seclude myself. I felt like I had to really stop and really stop talking to people and just be comfortable with being alone. Then I got too good at that shit. And that's the reason why even now some people would be like, "Bro, I'll be calling you and you don't even answer." You know what I'm saying? Because I'm now having to fix being so stuck in that mode of solidarity that you call it's just isolation. You know what I'm saying? You isolate
yeah.
yourself, and it shows up in a lot of other ways that you don't even realize it shows up. It shows up in ways where you might got a partner that you really fuck with, but you don't really pick up the phone as much as you possibly should just to be like, oh, what's good with you? Oh, let's go grab lunch. Let's go do this. You know what I'm saying? So uh, sometimes that could like switch and it could run its way through other paths in your life. So you gotta be careful of how much solidarity you want and isolation you want to do because it does affect other aspects of your life. That's just me for myself.
Like, so
That's what's
KP,
up.
like when you came back, what was you expecting? Like, because you said like you came back, the energy felt different, right? So like,
Well,
what was your expectations in your mind? Like, did you think that, you know what I'm saying? Like, did you think that people was gonna be um
well,
excited to
Throwing
see
parade.
you and like
well,
things were just gonna pick up like that? Like, what was the?
absolutely.
What was the
So, like, I think these two could speak when you're in the military and then you come back home or you go somewhere,
Uh,
or for like R&R for your little break or whatever. You just take a week off. People get mad when you come to the city and then they don't
And
all
don't
fuck
see
with
you.
you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn,
yeah,
like you was out here for a week, and it's like, nigga, I was out here for a week. Why I got to make the
Why couldn't
rounds?
you
Like
come
y'all
see
know I'm
me?
home. Y'all come see me. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
And so like
exactly.
just growing up, I was, I had a little crew, and I guess you could say a popular kid or whatever, friends and shit like that, my family and things like that. And then it would get to the point where when I got back home, I'm thinking, well, shit, y'all, y'all wanted to see me that one week while I'm home. You know what I'm saying? So I'm expecting for people to come and see me and come kick it and call and and that shit was not like that, bro. It was to the point where like I could tell you how many times people came to my house. Like if I wasn't throwing something at my house, I wouldn't. Nobody came to hang out. And the crazy part about it is if some of my family went to my grandma's house, you have to pass my house to get to my grandma's house. So niggas was
Right.
like, I felt like some people you just pass my house to get to my grandma's and stuff like that. And so it was just,
you feel
I
like they was
think
avoiding you?
because I was getting more, I don't think they was avoiding me. I don't know what it was. Um, but I know that I was getting angry behind it. And just one time somebody just told me like you got to start accepting people for who they are. Some people are gonna be there occasionally. Some people are gonna be there for you in a season. Some people are gonna be there for and know that position that they have for you and expect the same and handle them accordingly. But I got
Yeah,
so good at isolating myself that like to this day I'm really bad at fucking answering my call. I would literally see somebody calling, but I'm doing something. I'm like I'll call them and completely won't get back to them for like
mm,
2 weeks, 3 weeks. You know.
I think a lot of
So
that is just people having being used to being in one-sided relationships. So like with the a lot of what you was explaining, KP, you be telling people, or when people be like, "Hey, come see me," but it's like, all right, well, I just traveled like 14 hours from the Middle East to come here, and now you want me to come an extra 30 minutes or extra 45 minutes to where you at?
What the
Like,
fuck?
why you can't come see me? You know what I'm saying? And then are the same people that be like, hey, are you finally called somebody? And they be like, well, I'm glad I finally heard from you. You never called me. But like, nigga, if I hadn't called you, we wouldn't be talking. Like, you got my number, like I got your number. Like, why it gotta be? I don't really like one-sided relationships a lot. And, like for them, I kind of just if we don't talk, then we probably just won't talk. Like if I know I'm always the one doing the calling, always doing the texting, always going out my way to show up, but every time it's the other way around. You never riding down the street, you know what I'm saying? You never picking up the
yeah.
phone to call me or something going on, and I don't ever see you. It's just like I just leave that where it's at. There
You
was that
definitely
key.
got to reevaluate your relationships. You know what I'm saying? Because if you are putting too much energy out there and the person ain't reciprocating that energy back, eventually you're gonna have to be like, yo, like you can't keep expecting people to be away just because you are that way. You know what I'm saying? Like how KP just said, like I had to realize that, this is what it is. So like I think you have to just really be, careful about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and reevaluate your relationships and see, okay, is this person, somebody that I want to make that effort and continue this relationship with, or is this person somebody that, this ain't even worth it. Like we cool, but like
Yeah,
if I'm on some kicking this shit, I hit you on some kicking this shit, but I ain't, like, I ain't got to talk to you every day. But certain relationships, I try to make an effort for it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm always try to make that effort. But other
yeah,
relationships that I deem that ain't that valuable, it is what it is. Like either you fuck with me or you don't. And if you don't, that's cool. Like see you when I see you.
mhm.
It ain't no beef or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like ain't no
yeah.
animosity.
At
But
all.
Oh,
Just
I'll
is
be
what
having
So
it
of
a little
course,
is.
animosity in my blood.
of course, that's because you petty.
I
it
used
be a
to.
little,
Hey,
it be a
I don't
little
be,
I used to.
animosity still in my blood. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm like, okay, bet. Too easy,
I used
you
to be
know.
like that.
the only reason
Yeah.
why I don't is because and honestly, I remember when Dre was talking about how everybody showed up to your dad's funeral and you never saw him no more.
yeah,
My grandmother used to always, like, her last 5 years used to always be like, because she did a lot for a lot of people when she was younger. So her last five, probably 4 5 years, I don't know if it was just the Alzheimer's or dementia or she really was feeling like this. She used to always be like, so and so don't come see me no more. And I lived in an area where the further somebody is away is 20 minutes. So she's always, so and so don't come see me no more. This person don't come see me. And I used to always tell her, like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about that shit. And I saw how that shit really used to bother her because I guess she feel like she did so much for folks. Why don't people still come see her?
yeah,
So I kind of got like that when I started going home. I'm like, I drove 4 hours down here, all y'all 15 minutes away. Why do I got to come by everybody's shit? Y'all, it's a
yeah,
5 10 minute drive. But then that's when it goes back to that when I told y'all I can't stand to see people in, like, I mean, if that's what you do, that's what you do. But in the same house or in the same 5 10 minute area talk on Facebook. We need to do this, we need to do that, and they never still ever see each other. I'm like, y'all
yeah.
just do that
Mhm.
shit so the conversation was out there for to be snapshotted, but y'all ain't even doing that. So I stopped doing.
Yeah.
I stopped
I
doing the
think
shit.
I think Facebook and made it to where people are so accessible to each other that they feel like they
Yeah,
ain't really got to pick up the
Like,
phone
that's
and
it.
call you
That's
Like,
access.
anymore. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
they
Like
feel like,
they
yep.
like I see you on Facebook, I see you doing okay, you making statuses, or you doing good, but like they
I
ain't gonna go the
got,
extra mile to like really like hit you up.
I got a phone number. Don't go by my screen name. Shit.
and so what do y'all think? I got a question in the comments. What do y'all think? You think you should be healed before you get in a relationship, or do you need to be in a relationship to see if you healed?
I think you
Yeah.
should be working towards being healed before you get in a relationship, especially if
I
you've been
agree
in a
with
lot
that.
of relationships and they haven't worked. I think you should be working on being healed or be healed when you step into that new relationship. Because it's just going you're gonna have less baggage. You're gonna be able to communicate properly. You're gonna be able to be for that person better than you were previously. I know, like reflecting on myself, when I was in a different headspace and I was in a different, I wasn't healed. I was still doing toxic shit. I wasn't able to be, truthfully with that person the way they might have wanted me to be. Or I might have just had shit in my mind that, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't taking the person serious. I wasn't taking the situation serious. I was just doing some just living life shit. But, you know, now that I'm healed, I feel like, yeah, I think that is the best way to uh approach a relationship is being fully healed and being able to know your weaknesses and your strengths. And they said, like, should you be completely healed or do you need to be in a relationship to see if you're healed, depending on how you respond to something that triggers you? That's a good question. So I think, you know what I mean, I think everybody has different triggers or whatever. But I think, like, as you're healing, you should know those triggers and you should set those boundaries with that person in the beginning stages of talking. I think, like, to me the most important thing is like building a friendship with the person that you are trying to have a relationship with. Because if you build that friendship, that's like the foundation of the house. And if that foundation is based off that friendship, everything else is like the walls and the roof, all that shit is going to come into play because the friendship and the communication is there. So you can tell them, like, hey, this thing, like these certain things trigger me, this, you know what I'm saying? Because you're able to communicate, because I have a friendship that is beyond just anything sexual, or you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we get into that lust, sex, you know what I mean, where like the pussy good, the head good, so you might put up with shit that you really shouldn't be putting up with, you know what I'm saying? So
I should have left months ago.
yeah.
What you think about that, Drake?
I don't know. I don't think you can ever really be fully healed. So I mean, I would say be as healed as possible. But
Why you say
I
you can't be
definitely.
fully healed?
I mean,
Sorry to
I
do.
don't think. No, I'm just. I don't think anyone is ever going to be fully healed because I mean, it's stuff that you probably went through. Well, I would say for me, I guess stuff I probably went through that I don't even really remember and I wouldn't know until it was a trigger that came up. So now if I'm in a full blown relationship and it came like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Like how I would probably think that I was healed or moving towards that space. But I definitely think you should not be like a total work in progress and trying to insert yourself into somebody else's life. Like you should definitely at least get yourself on the right path to where you're going before you
Mhm.
start bringing drama to other people, or at least just be
Yeah,
upfront about where you are. Because somebody might be willing to go on that roller
Yeah,
coaster
that's what
ride with
KP
you.
just said. He
So
basically said
yeah,
he let
yeah,
people know up front, like, I'm
just be
not easy to
upfront.
deal
Hey,
with.
yeah,
that shit don't work, man. I'm gonna tell you that now. Like you could be truthful, man, with some people, and they'll tell you that you done gaslit them. you like you could be upfront and just be like, hey, I'm, like, it's some shit, and I've always been truthful. Like I think that for myself, I've always painted a picture that, like, even if I didn't tell you, which I have, you should know that okay, this is gonna take some work because my mom and dad was young when they had me, so like um my mom would always say like we grew up together, like she 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 had to learn a lot, like her parents was a handful too, and so like just on a communicative level, she didn't have the communicative skills. Like I couldn't imagine having a kid. I think my mom was 15 years old. I couldn't imagine having a kid and having the skill set to like really raise a functional human being. You know what I'm saying?
nah, yeah, you
And
don't.
give them
Yeah,
all the tools that they needed. So we
They
had
learn on the
a
fly.
young yeah, I had a young mom that was really learning, and she had to really go through a lot of different things because her parents, and she had to work through her own trauma, and so trying to work through her own trauma and raising a kid, and then I had a dad, what I'm saying, like a major player, and then it was just like having a big homie, like he was the big homie, and so I experienced two polar opposite parenting. You know what I'm saying? Where it was
Hmm.
with my dad. My dad he was kind of strict, but not really. But he was more like, hey, do what you need to do. I don't give a fuck what you do. You know what I'm saying? And my mom, I probably wouldn't have got a lot of stuff done if it wasn't for my mom always being on my ass and being down my back about certain shit. And so when I tell you, like, I feel like I should be able to tell you, even if I don't say, hey, I'm a work in progress. Me telling you what I've been through, you should know, like, oh, this motherfucker, like, it's gonna take some work. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't have, um, I didn't know what a successful relationship looked like. I didn't
Look
know
like, yeah,
what it wasn't
Oh,
painted for
but a
me. You know what
healthy
I'm saying? Like,
relationship
I was,
even exists.
yeah, I was raised around some toxic ass, like, I seen some shit. I seen some shit. Like I can't even talk. Seen. Um. So like I can't. I'm having to work through it, and I didn't. It didn't get until I was like 30 something years old, my mid 30s, that I'm like, okay, I might need to work on this. You know what I'm saying? Like I actually putting the steps. So like going back to what Mitch said, like you do got to be in a position where you recognize it and now you are at least putting in the steps. Don't be coming in here with your toxic traits and then just running them shits in my life too. Like, man, this shit trash.
Yeah.
Like I don't got time for it. And a lot of people do that. There's a lot of people that do that.
Portia said
So
some real things.
that's
She
why my
said
boy
if you wait
Keith
until
is.
you Keith is toxic. Portia said if you wait until you heal, you will never be in a relationship. Healing is a continuous journey, and it just takes the right person to help bring out that healthiest version of yourself. That's true.
Yes, Queen, say that. I feel like she's
So,
in her sage when she said that.
but okay, so on the flip side, like I was just saying earlier though, right? Uh like on the flip side, what I was just saying earlier, like I feel like I was on that journey of being healed and I came across a person that was like trying to be healed. And I just think that we weren't like we were like oil and water. You know what I'm saying? Like it just wasn't. It just never got to where we needed it to be because her trauma was so like she was just so traumatized. And then you know what I'm saying. I think I was still at the beginning stages of my healing journey, so I wasn't as clarified as I am now. So you know what I'm saying. Like she would be able to trigger me with little things that you know what I'm saying. Now like them things might not even trigger me, but the things that she was able to do, it would trigger me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. What up, cuz? I see my cuz in here.
Yeah, I like Portia's second message much better.
Yeah, the right
Find the
person to
right
help you
person.
see.
The
You got
right
a
person.
minute?
I mean, that's what it is really like finding that person that you are willing to work and grow with and y'all are able to grow it together. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I was saying like that friendship is like if you got that friendship, it's pretty much the foundation and you can build on that. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's like, do I really enjoy being around this person? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, can we have good conversation? Can we, go and do things that's fun? And do we have similar interests? Like, that's the most important thing to me. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
You could possibly go through a lot though, man. Even dealing with somebody that's trying to figure their way out and really try to heal, man. You really get tested, man. And sometimes that shit be like you like, man, fuck this shit. she breathed the wrong way. I'm out of this motherfucker. Like, she got one thing to
Hey,
say.
it be like that
Like it's
sometimes.
and I feel like in my relationships, I think that I've really tested motherfuckers like to the limits. Like
definitely.
it's been
Because
some
that might have been your way of
real
like
work.
seeing, like, does she really love me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you putting her through the
Nah, that
ringer to
was
see
just
if
me
she really
fucking up.
love you, maybe. I know I used to do that shit. I used to be hard on motherfuckers just to see like do they really love me? Like I'm gonna do this shit just to be like a test. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that
I
shit was toxic on my
Mm,
behalf to be trying to put people through tests. They're like, why am I doing that shit? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel like me just being there. I'm gonna find out if you really want to be here or not. Because there's gonna be some times I'm gonna be annoying as hell. And if you stay through that, then you might be able to roll.
See, that's my problem.
yeah, yeah,
Be pushing.
I'm real annoying too. I'm real annoying. Like I wake up some days like, bro, I'm about to just push the limits. Like, look,
Man, I ain't gonna hold you. One day I was on the game with KP, and he was like, "Hey, bro, you too goddamn goofy right now. I'm about to holler at you."
bro. Yeah, his goofy was all the way up, bro. I'm like, man, I
that
can't
boy
Yeah,
even deal
childish,
with you right
man. He's super childish.
now.
Dre is
but yeah, I did want to talk about a couple other things. First thing I wanted to talk about, just to switch gears real quick. Shout out to Shakari Richardson, the 100 meter. I wanted to know what y'all thought about her, basically taking her voice back. I feel like that's what she was doing. So she won. First off, I feel like she did need that humility. She got knocked down a couple pegs. She went in the lab, grinded out, came back and beat all the people that they said she wasn't good enough to beat. And then after the fact, when all the CBS, all the major outlets were trying to talk to her, she was just like, "Yeah, no, thank you, I'm good."
yeah.
Love that
I love
shit.
it. I love a good underdog story. I love a good adversity story. I feel like, like you said, she went in the lab and had to humble herself. Um, she had to get off the weed. I think she got some things that she like naturally,
Get
like she's
off the
naturally
weed.
talented. Get off the weed, man. Like naturally, I think she's super talented though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think
Mm-hmm.
she needs to work on her start because like track is about discipline. And if you ever watch Shakari, like when she run the 200, she be getting smoked because she ain't got the discipline. But she's like raw natural skills. You know what I'm saying? Like she's just she's an uncut gem. But I love the way that she bounced back from adversity when everybody was against her. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I was one of them niggas that was against her. Like I was definitely like, yo, Shakari is ass. She need to get her shit together. And she made me eat humble pie. So I just want to, salute her for coming back and doing what she did, winning against them two Jamaican chicks, and she was in one of the hardest lanes, bro. She was in that lane one and lane 9. I don't know if you
She
guys
was
ever
in
ran
lane
track.
nine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Automatic.
It's basically like being in lane one. You basically running by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't really
Yeah,
see nobody. Like you,
and no
she pretty
pace,
much was
nothing. He
racing
just yeah.
herself. So just imagine if she would have had a better start. Because her start is the only issue that I see with her. Like if she had a better start, she would have really smoked them girls. But yeah,
Well, my thing was more the fact that I wish that as a people we would do that more. So you already know that once we take them tumbles, take them or eat that humble pie that everybody seem like to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Right after the fact, as soon as they get back up, they go back to all the people that was shitting on 'em. I like the fact that Shakari, like, she kept it. She was like, nah, like, you ain't get
yeah,
my
keep that
interview.
same
Like,
energy.
I ain't finna keep your, hey, have your network popping. Like, yeah, you. I remember what it was like when I was down, and now all of a sudden, okay, get an interview. Nah, bro, keep it moving.
So they automatically expect you to come back and talk to them anyway.
I just wish that we was able to do that more and still get the same amount of exposure because I feel like it's all the people that's pressing the buttons that's holding us down, which is why that doesn't happen more often. But I definitely like the stand that she took when she did that. I felt like that was dope.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
respect that. I
not,
mean, she only talked to the black people, right?
Just that one journalist, yeah, but he was black.
My bad. What
yeah.
was you about to say, KP?
I feel like we got to start doing that all together, man. Like every time somebody stumble a little bit, motherfuckers is coming down on them hard, man. Like
Man,
it's just crazy, man. Like because a lot of people right now they ain't talking about that boy Jonathan Majors. It looked like
they jumped out the
his
window on
case about to
Jonathan
get
Majors.
swept up. Yeah, they jumped out the window on him, and then he started dating Megan Good, so they think it's a publicity stunt. It may be, but they was ready to crucify that man, and then you know it was just so crazy because he was ascending, like that dude was killing. He was about to take off, man, and
Man,
it
Mm-hmm.
just one little slip up could have everybody hating you. And so it's gonna be interesting to see like if he can bounce back as well, and see what he can do. But as far as Shakira, like that shit was good to see, man. And it's nothing better than beating the people that was smoking you. That everybody
For
said that you
real.
couldn't beat.
Cause she looked bad. That
And
one
then I,
race,
I,
they
I
smoked
I
her
even like
bad.
I even like how she handled them. You know what I'm saying? Because I think they was, they was a little
Taunting
spicy
her.
with they
oh
shit,
yeah,
and
definitely.
Oh yeah, they
she
taunted
she
her.
was she yeah she came back and she was humble and she was speaking to him and you know uh, just hopefully, man, because I'm starting to see a lot of that just with uh, African American women, like in entertainment. I can't speak for like it's a lot of competition, a lot of nastiness, a lot of like they
So they,
attitudes towards one another, especially in rap and stuff like that. It's just like, damn, well, y'all can't all coexist. Like that shit is just
they
crazy
always
to
pit
me,
them.
man. Yeah.
What was that key?
Is that because rap is competitive?
No, I was saying they was all women have always been pitted up against each other, and black women in any industry, damn near. And I've never understood. It's almost like they want to break them down. I don't get that because even rap, they used to always do that shit.
Because that's the nucleus.
Yeah.
That's the nucleus right there. You get the black women because I mean that's the core of you think about it. Not to be pandering, like you get the black women to start friction in it, it can fuck up the whole thing. They're the
Watching something
core of
else.
everything.
They the backbone.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
What y'all think about since y'all brought up rap, I had to bring this up. What do y'all think about Sexy Red and Suki Hana in their music? What
I
y'all
don't
think
think
about
nothing
that
about
shit?
that. I ain't want
Yeah,
to. Nah, I got no
Well,
comment on them.
you
being
got
that
no
I
comment.
Nothing.
I think rap is getting bad, man. Like we got a little bit of hope with some people, but man, this shit about to be terrible soon, man. Like
I mean,
it's
like,
getting worse. That's why I mostly listen to R&B now. Like
I
I'll listen to some rap, but I'll be on my R&B tip.
I was watching a podcast the other day, and when somebody was asked that same question, dude brought up something I never thought about. He was saying what a lot of these producers are doing, these fire producers that make these beats that pretty much whoever they put on it, the song end up being a smash. They finding these little non-talented the least talented, but they can keep up with their beat and cadence to be over their song where they know they ain't gonna have to pay them a lot in the beginning, if that, and they can charge them and stuff like that, and because they know they can do it with anybody type
I
shit.
don't, I feel like it. I feel like it's just another form of mind control. Like they putting the like, cause just like Nikwa, I think that's how you say her name. They're saying that they're not a good representation of young black women, but that's what's being pushed to our youth. Is that
Yeah,
like so? That's what they seeing, and then they
to
gonna
be
mimic
ratchet.
it because that's what kids do. They mimic. You know what I'm saying? Like if you put a chessboard in front of some kids, they gonna learn how to play chess. If
Yeah,
you put Sukiana and Sexy Red in front of them, they gonna act like Sukiana and Sexy Red. It's not on them, but I mean, I just feel like that is what they're trying to have the next generation portray that and keep their mind off, keep their eyes off the prize.
I think it comes down
Well,
to
I think that
parenting,
they
man.
raising a generation that's like this generation coming up under us. I think they're gonna be extremely sexual and stuff like that. Like
They
we
already
now in
sexual
a
now.
society where they
that's why they do.
pushing they put. But I'm saying like the agenda is really pushing like sexuality and being open with sexuality now. Like the TV is getting more raunchier. You know what I'm saying? Like motherfuckers is fucking. You know we used to have
Yeah,
to
on
wait till like
ABC.
11
Oh yeah,
o'clock, 12 o'clock
PG
for
13 ain't the same as
HBO
it
after
was back in
dark.
the
Yeah,
90s.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Oh,
I think they making it to where like motherfuckers is like they gonna make it normal for people to be sexing at fucking 11 and stuff like that. You got these little babies on TikTok talking about they coochie stink, they booty hole, they coochie pink, they booty hole, bro. Like it's crazy, man. That's what they pushing. They are pushing that agenda with sexuality, and it's just gonna be
I think it comes down to
that's gonna be the
parenting though,
thing.
man. I think parents gotta be,
Absolutely.
and they definitely making sure that they monitoring what their kids is listening to, what they consuming, you know what I'm saying? Because if you letting your kids consume that shit, you listen like the Shy episode. You said I know you watched the Shy KP, you seen that, and the little
Mhm.
boy was in the back seat listening to the rap and it had him programmed where he
Mhm.
cussing and calling the other little boy a punk motherfucker and all this type of shit. But then like they
Mhm.
brought it to her attention. She's like, "Oh no, you can't tell me what I do in my household." But then she seen it and it kind of like clicked, like, "Yo, nah, we gotta change
Yeah,
this. This
turn
is
that
getting out of
off.
control." Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think it come down to parenting, man. Like as parents, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta let your kids know that it's a difference between entertainment and reality. You know what I'm saying? Because I listen to rap. I was listening to fucking all that shit early.
Oh yeah,
But
I was gonna say the same. I think the oh my bad, my bad, trying to
no, you good.
cut you off.
You good.
I
You
was gonna
good.
say I don't think it's no different than what we because like I grew up listening to Too Short and Sugar Free too, but I felt like it was put in a space where it was like I was made to understand. But now I think the issue is just that with the amount of electronics and
Yeah.
media and
Programming.
everything that the kids have access to, it's like so like yeah, I seen it in certain spaces, but my dad was also like, hey, this ain't nothing you supposed to be repeating. This ain't nothing, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I was getting the lessons with it. Now it's just like man, kids can just they just main veining YouTube and whatever video they put on is
And the
hey
balance too, Dre. I feel like we had more
man,
balance. Like you had a little bit of the ratchetness, but you also had the the public enemy, the sophisticated. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like it was balanced. Like now they
time.
you got to go damn near deep to find the deep stuff. Like you got to go. You know what I'm saying? Like they not gonna be promoting the J Cole's and the Kendricks like that
nah,
unless you know what I'm saying? Like they putting the ratchet shit out there first. Like you know what I'm saying? Like Rhapsody is the best female rapper, but you don't never hear them talking about her. You know what I mean? Because
yeah.
she got substance. But
Even the
you
rap.
going
Oh my
hmm?
bad, man. No,
What
I
you
was about
say?
to, even the rappers that was rapping back then that was on some ratchet shit, they still had some conscious shit in their shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not only that,
So
but we like well, just speaking of balance, like we also were kids. Like we could listen to that shit, but then we were also the same motherfuckers that was out there drinking from water hoses, playing tag, fucking playing flag football in the middle of the street and shit like that. You know,
very
we was
true.
outside riding bikes, going to the
Hmm.
park. These kids is just stuck in a room and like Dre said, just maintaining all of this shit. You know, they not they. they don't have no childhood.
They
Like they
creating
just
TikToks and trying to get
stuck in the
famous.
room, just
Yeah.
create. Yeah, just create.
Right.
Just that's all it is. So I think that's where the balance came from too. Just us just going outside and just being kids at the end of
Yeah.
the day. You know.
That's real. We was able to unplug from the matrix. We knew that it was entertainment, but we was able to unplug from the matrix and still have that childhood and be like, you know what I'm saying, growing up with your friends and playing. Like I know when I was on punishment, man, that would seem like the longest week ever. Not be able to go outside and play with your friends, like
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
you outside
I
looking
took
out
an
through the
ass
window, like
whooping over
damn.
not going. I took an ass whooping over not going outside, bro. Go ahead and get this over
Man.
with. Be out there. Yeah, I'm still. I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm all
Me
straight up.
outside, bro.
Hey, I got a question for y'all. So other day, man, I think tequila is the greatest liquor of all time. And this is why I say that, right? Because it don't matter if you drink vodka or if you drink brown, both of those people are always going to drink tequila.
All right, is that a question?
Don't fuck with. I know some
I mean,
people
it's
that
a
don't fuck
statement.
with tequila.
You know people that don't fuck with tequila?
Yeah, it's weird.
Probably because they get
I
freaky on
wasn't.
that
I wasn't
motherfucker.
really. I wasn't really big on tequila until like maybe like 3 years, 3 years ago. I was a
Mm.
vodka drinker. I could not drink no damn vodka, man. But it got to be hard times for me to, or the last thing standing. Bro. I'm cool on vodka, man. That shit
You was on that Ciroc kick for a minute
trash.
though, wasn't you? You was
Hey, bro,
fucking up that Ciroc for a minute.
I was Ciroc boy, nigga. Yeah. But yeah, nah, I can't fuck with that, man. Like, I'll drink it if it ain't nothing else there. Other than that, nah, just give me some tequila or give me some cognac.
Yeah.
That gin Dre gave left over here was good too.
Yeah, I just drink alcohol, man. I don't
Yeah.
make no.
So
He
I
said
think
he don't
the reason
care
why
what
I
it
said
is.
I
If you got
think
a taste
tequila
level,
is
I'm
the
with it.
greatest. The reason why I say tequila is good because right, you got the reposado, you got the blanco, you got the anejo. So even if you like, if you let's say you're a bourbon drinker, you might drink the reposado. You know what I'm saying? If
Mhm,
you a vodka drinker, you might drink the blanco. You know what I'm saying? Like
mhm.
tequila to me has a mixture of everything in it. Like that's why I think it's the best.
I drink whatever's handed to me.
Whoa,
You don't
that's a
care.
dangerous recipe.
Oh, ooh,
Yeah, this
alcohol.
nigga trying to get roofie.
Just
I just
do some
I was
Rohypnol. It's
really
the new.
drinking heavy at 15. So like I was drinking Grandma. I was going in clubs ordering Tom Collins. I don't even know what's in Tom Collins,
What the
but
fuck is that?
it's a drink.
Yeah,
I
You
ain't
order
never
from
heard of that shit.
I ain't never heard of that shit. That sounds like some shit that 60-year-olds drink.
and look, two or three of them. Have you ever?
That
I
sound
drank
like
in the military. We to a bachelor drinking plain Dr Peppers. Two of them shits erased my memory for the whole night, and there's no Dr Pepper even involved in the shit.
yeah. I ain't never heard no Tom Collins, bro. That
I ain't
sounds
never
like
heard no
something from the
fucking time. I gotta
50s.
Google that. Hey, the
Well,
Great
I
Bay
was
said that's how you
that
get Bill
shit.
Cosby drinking Tom Collins. Said that's that Bill Cosby drink
Say
right
that's
there.
that's an old white golfer drink.
I ain't never heard that shit. I gotta Google that shit. Hold
That
on,
shit
bro. What
from
the
the
fuck is a
Renaissance
Tom
days or some
Collins?
The
shit.
Tom
What the
Collins.
fuck is Tom Collins, bro?
just
I ain't
like
never
Yeah,
heard of that.
bean and cherry. I couldn't tell you what alcohol was in. It didn't matter.
yeah. I
Tom
definitely
Collins is
agree.
a
But
that nigga. They said Tom Collins is a cocktail made from gin, lemon juice, sugar, and carbonated water. Oh, so it's just like like a fucking like a seltzer
gin
almost,
and
like
tonic.
a gin and tonic. That's basically what a Tom Collins is. Just a
16.
sophisticated way.
You was probably paying 15 extra
That's
dollars
that
for that name too.
prohibition drink, nigga. Yeah, that nigga was
Nigga
drinking
said
that
prohibition.
prohibition time.
The bootleggers.
And niggas going to
That nigga was
speakeasies.
that Ray's boom broom.
Oh man.
Niggas going to speakeasies.
Man, the boys in
Uh,
the boom boom room. That's crazy.
Ray's boom boom room.
You had to be
Oh
21.
shoot.
like 16, 17,
I
18.
ain't never heard of that shit called time college. You
Yeah.
just put me on some shit I never heard of.
And see, you
I
get fucked
asked
up.
the army.
You say you
What?
get fucked up.
Yeah. Oh, I thought the KP was saying no. You get fucked up quick because they don't taste like alcohol is in it at all. So I've been done
Mm.
drank 4, 5 of them shits. Next thing you know, nigga leaning, walking out the club and shit.
With a headache. I ain't drank gin in so long, bruh.
I drink gin regularly.
I ain't drink gin in so long. But hey,
I ain't
man,
started
it's
drinking.
been real.
I ain't started drinking gin until I met Porsche for real. But
For real. The bumpy
oh
face.
yeah.
What kind of gin y'all drinking?
Last one I had was the Botanist. It's pretty fire.
The botanist. I ain't never heard of that. My dad's still drinking
That nigga
Seagram's
think
gin.
he's
I had to tell that
snooping.
nigga to cut that shit
That
out. I got
nigga
on
think
his ass.
he's snooping Dre.
Yeah, that's
My dad was drinking Seagram's gin, the bumpy face. I'm like, nigga, why is
Yeah,
you drinking that?
green
Porsche
bottle.
used
Like
to drink that too.
some straight wino shit. Like, nigga, cut that out. Hey, what bottle?
Uh,
If you got what bottle? I seen it. I seen this question. We're gonna close this out after this. What bottle do you think would hurt the most if you got hit with alcohol? Because you know all the motherfuckers look like they hurt, but like what bottle you think hurt the most? Like if a nigga hit you with the bottle
the Fortaleza.
of
That's a
Fortaleza.
yeah. That's
I
some
think
nigga
it'd
mark
probably be
for real.
that XO Duce, the black bottle. That shit, the Duce bottles already be fucking thick as hell. So,
That's a thick
so
ass
the
pussy.
XO bottle,
Man,
Mm.
that shit might lacerate your brain. I'm cool.
I know that Louis the 13th bottle got a lot of bumps on that bitch.
I ain't never seen that.
That
I ain't
shit.
never seen it.
I saw one in a glass case with a $13,000 tag on the bottom.
That shit too expensive to be
Uh,
hitting somebody upside the
yeah,
head. Like
he get that in the same place he got that Tom Collins at. We ain't never go see that.
I
Oh,
think like this.
The country club. He was
Oh yeah,
in
that do look dangerous though. I see what you're talking about. They got spikes and shit. It's like a porcupine. Like that shit got porcupine shit on it. I think that Seagram gin though, like a nigga hit you with that
Hey,
Seagram gin bottle, the bumpy face bottle. Oh yeah, you going to
the
sleep.
Angry Ape said that Henny bottle was gonna hurt. I agree with
It's
that
got the
too.
perfect. It got the perfect hold for it too. Just like that do say.
I'm also sure that's the bottle people been hit with the most.
Oh, definitely.
That
Yeah,
and some Erkinger.
definitely.
You drinking that? I'm out.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yo, it's been another episode, man. We appreciate y'all checking us out. Y'all can always, like and subscribe and comment. We appreciate the viewers. Want to give a shout out to Kim, to Nequa, to the Angry Eight for always coming and commenting and supporting the vibes.
Porsche
We'll
too.
be back every Porsche. Can't forget Porsche. I'm sorry. Um, my bad. So every Tuesday, man, y'all can check us out at 9 o'clock. Eastern time. I think that is what time is that West Coast?
6.
6.
6 West Coast,
But we be on
8 o'clock.
CPT sometimes, so
Yeah,
give us some
sometimes we be on
space.
CPT, so it might be like 9:15, 9:30, but we're gonna be here, you know what I
We gonna
mean?
be here.
So but yeah, we appreciate y'all checking us out, man. And with that, we're gonna end the show. We'll see y'all next week. Love.
All right.